Hey traders, my evening video. A little rundown of the indices and what I'm seeing in the markets. SPY came into a trend line pretty darn close to it. The 277 area, something like that. And basically, I think we're going to tick up right into that trend line tomorrow morning. And the reasoning for that, we're getting a mixed signal here on our different time frames. But on our market webs here, we put in value right at the highs of the day. I mean, buyers were still uh, in the day. Basically, the big boys in New York, when their big investors want to buy into the market, but millions at a time, they slowly uh, uh, buy in on the dips throughout the day, and that they do that to cut down on what they call the slippage effect. Basically, if they throw a million shares out there all at once, then it's going to rapidly uh, kick up the offer the bid offer prices, and prices will go nuts. So basically, they just slowly put them out there throughout the day for the slippage point. But the last 15 minutes of the day, any of those orders left on the books, they have to fill them. It's forced selling situation at the end of the day to finish those orders off that their customers had put in for the day. And basically, what we saw today here is the highest volume of the day actually hit at the end of the day. Okay, and it dramatically raised the volume point of control for the day at the day highs. So the highest volume of the day was of all these orders sitting out there, these big investors coming in and buying into the end of the day. So that suggests you're going to have a continuation tomorrow, because typically you want a bell curve formation to show that the auction has finished bidding, and the auction process is over with. And we don't have that today. So it's cut off. Okay. So we ran out of time today to finish the auctioning process, basically. So we're going to come in tomorrow and probably poke up even higher, and we will put out a more uniform bell curve even on our secondary volume profile chart here on the SPY. And if you want to look at this from a different point of view here on the okay, and you can see here on the SPY, we're coming right into a trend line and a price level resistance area. So we're probably going to come in here tomorrow and hang out here for a little while at the open, and then we may reject or break out to higher highs. So far, because of that end of day volume or balance on balance orders, that suggests to me that the markets are wanting to attempt to break above this trend line tomorrow morning. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is an algo area. Basically, we have another descending trend line here. We came right back up on the NASDAQ today and had some pretty good volume here. If you notice on the volume flow indicator on the SPY, we had volume coming into the close. If you go down on your 1 hour chart here on the Qs, it was we were actually starting to lose some momentum here on the Qs going into the close this afternoon. So that is a little warning sign here that the Qs were actually losing some of their momentum but the SPY was not. Okay. And then if you go back to the other chart and Qs, if I can get it to load. Okay, there we go. It's loaded. Okay, what we have going on here on the Qs, we broke out today, and we have a similar situation on the Qs. The volume point of control it all hit there at the end of the day. So that suggests to me that there were orders sitting out there waiting to be filled at the end of the day, and it really bumped up the buying and selling right there at that uh, critical level. And we are coming into trend line resistance right there, so you probably had people taking some profits off, but you also had potentially some big orders sitting out there waiting to be filled into the end of the day close. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We are into some resistance, so we're probably not going to see a gap up tomorrow. Okay, one of the charts that I have not been really following too close, and that's our IWM, our Russell. We did break out above this downward trend line here, so we're doing more sideways consolidation here. So now the next target would be the top of the range, the 157.31 area. So we'll see what happens there for the IWM and the volume flow indicator. The last, it actually was doing the opposite of NASDAQ. It was gaining ground at the end of the day. So money was rotating out of the NASDAQ and back over into the Russell there towards the end of the day. And then if you look over here on your volume profile, we have a pretty decent symmetrical volume profile here on this right here. We are extended, and we are at former range highs. Okay, but we are we've IWM, we did break above that trend line, so there is still pretty good potential there for a move up. Now the value for today though, build out lower on IWM. It is a different scenario than what the other charts were showing us. So just keep that in mind. We were catching a bit into the close on IWM, so money was actually rotating out of potentially some of the NASDAQ and SPY and going into the Russell for the open session, it seems like. And I do see Apple and Boeing, they both have further room up, in my opinion. That's why I do have some long positions for the overnight, despite the big run we had today, because I do think we are going to open flat to higher in the morning, even if it's slightly higher. Okay. So that's just a quick rundown of some of the things I'm seeing here, but it was an amazing day for some call option holders today. So good trading to all you guys who succeeded, and good luck, and I will see you in the morning.